everybody. Welcome to episode 245 of Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home. Why can't catch up? He's going too slow. Haha! Looks like he's off by 10 seconds. Yeah, that's right. I'm just watching you now. Just eye to eye. Oh, right. I should look at the camera.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
You know
what's
what?
going on?
You're home for impassioned pleas, but you don't even have a home. None of your stuff's there.
I have a home.
No home for you.
Home is where the heart is, Mike. It's not about, this is a house. My home. Well, I guess I can't say that yet because my family still lives here. All right. Jared's mad because we didn't start on time. There's a miscommunication yesterday.
Fudgies.
So I apologize. Jim has some good questions about Calgary. He's going to send on... they're really just going to give up. I mean, honestly, like, they already lost Johnny Hockey. Is Tkachuk on his way out, too? I don't know. I feel like they made a pretty strong move to make sure he can't go venture off and sign with anybody else through an offer sheet.
I mean, how upset could you be? I mean, who would have thought the Blue Jackets would be getting Johnny Hockey? I mean, you can't really blame Calgary for that.
Did you see that Instagram post of the news reporter out of Calgary who signed off? I think he was probably the sports guy. He signed off and sent it to the weatherman, and he goes, "That's all for me today, unless I get an offer from somebody out of Columbus for less money. That'll be." It's just as sore as you could be. I mean, it's true, right? I mean, he left Calgary, which I look, we don't live in Canada, but I would guess, based on those hot jerseys, I don't know why, that's where most of my judgments come from on this, that is a destination. That's a hockey destination, is Calgary.
I just assumed it was Southern Canada.
That's right, yeah. The Saddle Dome and everything. But yeah, I always assumed Calgary would be a destination. One of my very few hockey jerseys is a Calgary Flames jersey because I love that jersey and that logo so much. But, you know, I guess that only gets
as somebody who barely makes $20 an hour, I've vacationed in Columbus, and I can tell you it is not a destination.
Yeah, I mean, I made the comment last week, like, this is good for Columbus. Like, it's been the franchise that you become a star. I don't know, maybe not become a star, because I guess Rick Nash made a pretty good living in Columbus. But you don't, it's never a destination. There's certainly the guys who have had a good season in Columbus and have just moved on. Quite gracefully, I would say. Yeah. But it's never been like, free agents. We gotta head over to Columbus and see what's up.
I did want to throw in one thing too, like not a trade. I don't think that really counts unless we're talking about the wild new drama queen situation in the NBA where you can just say I want to trade and you get traded. We're talking about free agency, Matt. Can you think of one major like free agent defection that really upset you? Mine's really easy. It was when he left for more money, I think more years as well, when Ben Wallace defected from my beloved Pistons and went to Chicago. He went to the rival, and I missed him, but I was also kind of like, it was a mismatch in Chicago. He didn't really have great numbers, and the Pistons kind of made a better financial move to not re-sign him, but I was still like, how could you, Ben? Why Chicago of all cities? But, he's got some family there, so I kind of understand. But did you have one Met-oriented Johnny Hockey-like defection?
Probably Sergei Fedorov.
Did that one kill you?
I remember being upset about it. I mean, for the longest time, right? Like I used to say, like, no way is he ever allowed in the rafters. I will never forgive him for this. That hurt me at the time, but clearly you're not still mad at Ben Wallace. I'm not still mad at Sergei. I think we found out a lot about the Red Wings organization and, certain things of him being possibly pushed out, and that there's still an argument to be made that they're making no effort to smooth over any sort of relations with him. But Brad's right there. Fedorov hurt. Michael Script right there. Fedorov, Chewy, Fedorov. I think we're.
I mean, it's not really the same because it feels like it was the Red Wings' fault. But when we didn't get Hossa, I was pretty bummed.
That's a good one.
That was my dude.
It came to mind because you said Detroit to Chicago, and that came to mind. But it definitely didn't hurt as much because Hossa always felt like a 1 year, and that one was also a mistake. Although, I think we all have fond feelings for Mule, but I think it was pretty clear that we should have gone the Hossa route, and there may have been at least one more cup in the Pavel Datsyuk era, in the Zetterberg era that we actually ended up with.
No, you said it correctly, man. It was the Datsyuk era.
I know. That's a hot take. I think we all still love Franzen, but I think I would have prioritized that offseason a little differently. But I get it, right? You drafted the one guy, and the other guy came aboard.
Yeah, they doing the homegrown stuff. That's kind of how they operated,
It's just like Hossa being on that team is kind of what built what we have as analytics today, what we recognize as a good and bad hockey team. And it's because they defined like what it meant for Corsi and expected goals, and now they're still ranked as like one of the best expected goals teams and best Corsi teams of all time. And it was that ability to distribute Hossa, Datsyuk, and Zetterberg across different lines. I love Franzen, but it wasn't because we could distribute Franzen across multiple lines. I love him. I love him. Fond feelings, but it was Hossa that made the difference. You're talking about two of the best two-way players in the game are on the same team at the same time, including Lidstrom. So it's just like you had the best two-way defenseman, I should say, of all time. And then you had Hossa and Datsyuk, and it was like, all right, well, we could have this guy that gets injured all the time, and we drafted him, and every now and then he has a 4-goal game. All right, so the last episode I made people angry with my Tyler Bertuzzi take. So the last thing I want to do here is
don't you do it, man.
To be buried again.
Don't poke the bear again. Don't you do it. We had a different agenda today. Man, another big signing. We got him.
Oh, right.
Huge.
Oh,
well. We got a big picture of him. Yeah.
We want to take a stab at this. That Derek Lalonde's new assistant coach is Jay Varady.
Oh, going with Varady, huh? I'm going variety.
Oh,
I'm just going way off the variety, man.
Now, clearly, Mike, if you want to steal from any organization, you're looking over Southwest Arizona. You want to grab whatever's going on.
The heartbed
their development program
of the hockey. Yeah. It's a hotbed of hockey down there. Yeah.
I can't speak to immediately at work, people are like, what do you think? Is this gonna work? Like, is this gonna meld well? And
listen, for an organization that's used to flip-flopping goalies, how could you not be excited about a guy who went from the Tucson Roadrunners to the Arizona Coyotes and back to the Tucson Roadrunners?
This whole assistant coach with the Coyotes thing, it's not going so great, Jay. We're gonna send you back down to the AHL. Look, I'm teasing, and that's because I know very little about Jay. There's probably somebody out there who could chime in and say something much more educated than my jokes about targeting the Arizona Coyotes organization for a coach. But I'm also the guy who took a very long time trying to explain that I think there is. Let's do it again. All right. So you got your mean average. If there was some way to score out coaches,
maybe he'll bring up Bertuzzi.
You've got your mean average, and then you've got your top level coaches and your bottom level coaches, and then you've got, your greatest of all time are all the way up here, but most of the coaches are going to fit like between these two arms, and then the mean was in the middle. So that's it. The podcast listeners still have no idea what I'm trying to describe, but basically, I think everybody like it's razor thin. The difference between
Matt is just saying
coaches.
There's outliers, and then there's the mode.
Yeah, and then there's like everybody else. There's the Scotty Bowmans, and then there's everybody else. They're kind of all just jumbled together. And I think most of it has to deal with the team. I mean, you're talking about the difference between one guy's brain and the 18 guys that hit the ice. I think there's a little bit more that goes into the 18 guys. All right, I'm going to bury myself again here. Everybody's going to get angry because we get all up in arms over coaches we fire and hire. I'm going to lean into the fact I think it's fine. It's not killing me. It's not making me happy. Not blowing a load or anything.
Listen, you can't really have a salad without little iceberg lettuce. And I think that's where Jay Varady steps up to the plate, man.
Speaking of some lettuce.
Yeah.
Jared points out he has hair. How long?
Not for long, Jared.
Gone?
Not for long. They will be asking him to shave his entire head.
And facial hair, Chewy points
If you want to work here, bald. We're going to ask you to... We need you to narrow your eyebrows as well.
I really do hope that at least comes into the conversation at some point, because...
Listen, we got burned by Babcock's beautiful follicles, so never again. All right? They're gone. You shave them. It's like the New York Yankees with the little buzz cuts. There's Hockey Fox thrown in a Roadrunner Coyote. There's a joke to be made there. Absolutely.
Okay. I've never thought I am such a dumb sack of shit. I have never put two and two together. There's the Arizona Coyotes and the Tucson Roadrunners. Today, Hockey Fox, I was this years old when I realized that's why their AHL affiliate is named the Roadrunners. Hockey Fox for the win. Thank you so much, sir, for pointing that out. I feel like a fucking moron right now for not realizing that. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about the snip, snap, snip.
Jared, mind blown. Oh, good. Jared never caught that either. Whew. Thank God. I was hoping I wasn't.
So wait, is there an affiliation then between the Red Wings and the Griffins?
Shut the fuck up. All right. So what's this episode called, Mike? Let me pull it up. All right. I think
number 245.
Like, are we going to make the playoffs? I can't read it. It's cut off on my screen here. All right. We'll just play that game. And basically, we wanted to start off the slideshow here. I like Brad. Griffins have wings.
Brad, I think we're on to something.
Hey. Hey, what's going on, Tristan? I see Tristan's aboard. All right. So we've got Copp, Olli Maatta, Chiarot, Kubalik, Perron, which what did I say last week? I said underrated. This is the most underrated pickup I felt, and just so happens the rest of the world decided to agree with me over the week, so that was cute. But yeah, here we are. Now, fourth line could use some mixing. When you take a look at the defensive pairings, Mike, missing and unable to be scored on this, because what we're looking at right now, folks listening to the podcast, is the J Fresh War Roster Builder, Mike 5.0. So this is just projected. We still need a new one projecting for next season, but we're still doing pretty good here. This still figures in statistics from 2022. I think the only problem with this one is that it's not weighted properly when J Fresh makes a new one. Does that make sense? When we talk about all of these J Fresh projections, he weights them in a particular way, giving more weight to the current seasons, which clearly is not being done here. Any hoozles. Mike, what we're looking at again, the War Roster Builder from J Fresh. We have projected standings points of... Oh, wait, should we talk about... Do I have that? Oh, maybe I don't have that. Last year, Mike, do you remember what we were projected?
Last year, I think we were almost on the nose. Weren't we projected at like 82 points?
I believe 82 is correct. And then what did we end up with? Does anybody remember? I'm pulling it up right now. You went way too fast with that guess. I was
right on the nose because I don't remember why. I don't know why I remember that so vividly, but I remember seeing that 82 and being like, oh, moving up in the world. And then there's like that month where we were on pace to exceed that. And then it was just we hadn't done the other half of the coin. I believe we ended at like 78 points.
74.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's good that we all forget that number.
Yeah.
So,
pretty vast improvement here, having an actual second line and a healthy Vrana.
Yeah, and part of this too is there is a little calculation here on the special teams portion where they're taking the Jay Fresh is taking the guys who actually have power play and penalty kill performances. I tried to dissect it. I think what he's doing is pulling in the statistics that our potential power play performers could do, and he's figuring out, do they actually have power play time? And then they figure into this power play number, which also went up, as well as the penalty kill number went up. Are they the best numbers in the league? No, but they went up. I think there's a lot of potential though for them to be like, if we look at these top lines here, Dylan Larkin, Lucas Raymond, Tyler Bertuzzi, not changing, projected WAR 6.1. That's pretty goddamn good. That's pretty close to when we were figuring out last year. I don't know if you remember, Mike, we had like the top line in the league when we were doing Larkin, Bertuzzi, and Vrana. And that's just because they do produce quite well individually. But together you play that game of like, oh, what if they combine to do even more when they play together? But anywho, subbing out Vrana for Raymond, moving Bertuzzi over to the left side, which can't remember how that was screwed up last year, but that was Jay Fresh putting together Tyler Bertuzzi on the right side, and then Vrana figured in on the left side. But pretty similar projected WAR. And as you jump down to the second line, I mean, you're still doing pretty goddamn good.
That's almost equal. And I mean, like you're talking about how awesome that first line was, where it was one of the top first lines in the entire league. I don't think it was number one, was it? I know it was top three.
Because Boston was still, according to Jay Fresh, Boston was still scoring out ahead. But yeah,
to be percentage points like behind that first line, that's pretty damn impressive.
And we do know, like this past season too, there were what did we have come into play, Mike? We call out some injuries. What else was there? That there's a guy couldn't play couple of games. Anyway, we won't mention him, but he missed some games too. So we know that the first line didn't score out as well as it could have throughout the year because of injuries, because of guys just, I don't know, we'll call it miscellaneous reasons, missing games. So that happened.
We don't know if they're on the trading block. We don't know.
But anyway, if we could sum this up, the easiest thing to do for people listening to the podcast is we roll through these lines again. Vrana, Copp, and Perron. I struggled here because I can play with this. I built this one. We were talking about Jay Fresh's roster last year. I built this one. You could see the little arrows. I put Zadina on the third line. I don't care. I'm fine with it. I have heard the arguments that Perron should be focusing on the power play, give him less minutes. I think you're talking about the difference of like a minute or two per game. So there's my projection. Anyway, third line, Kubalik, Suter, Zadina, and then your fourth line, which again, I already threw in the asterisk. I think we're missing a Berggren here, but Adam Ernie, Michael Rasmussen, and Oscar Sundqvist. And then on the D side, we talked about this last week too. Chiarot, Seider, Maatta, Hronek, Wallman, Lindstrom. Those are your left side, right side defensemen. And then goalies, Ville Husso, Nedeljkovic. Husso grading out higher than Nedeljkovic. So you know what? This has to be pretty accurate because this does look pretty accurate for Nedeljkovic, who did well for half a season and then didn't for the second half. So to see like a 1.3, it's not, it's not in the negative. It's not red. But still, like a 1.3 seems to add up pretty good. Probably that games played won't break up that way. I figure if anything, if it's going to be Husso getting more games, Probably closer to the 50, like 50-30, but I think the most accurate thing would be 40-40. Anyhoozles, everybody that's listening to the podcast, now you just heard the lineup. For everybody watching on YouTube, you could see projected standings points 99. I think Mike already mentioned, but yeah, like we compared it. Last year was projected to be 82. We finished off with 74. So there's a lot of luck that has to go in, clearly, with keeping a healthy team, which can affect quite a bit. It's how you go from a projected 82 to 74. Things just not going your way. Maybe Nedeljkovic getting tired figures in there too. But anyhoozles, to the point, this team, from advanced analytics perspective, looks much better. And the name of this episode was something along the lines. This is I only see R, so it's Detroit Red Wings R. If I can remember properly here, it's are they going to the playoffs? Something like that. Mike,
yes.
Even without some potential upgrades that we could talk about here in a second, and without figuring in that probably Edvinsson's going to test out way higher than a Jake Wallman, and there's room for a Berggren. I think 99 feels pretty good. You are a bubble team, to be sure.
That's going to be a world of difference in a television viewing experience. If you're saying that you're going to be getting 25 more points than you did last season, I mean, it's what, an extra 12 wins. So that's pretty damn good number. I would like to see 12 more of those. Can you pull the screen back just so I can see the depth chart one more time? So the interesting thing here is we're kind of echoing this because it's something that we haven't had in the past couple seasons where I'm pretty fired up to see how the second line performs, especially if these projections hold sway. But even if they don't quite they don't finish the season like this because of injuries, it doesn't feel like it's a catastrophic event. And Brad asking, other Red Wings ready for the playoffs? Man, knowing that you can still put Berggren and not...
He was answering what was the name of the episode.
Oh, okay.
Brad for the win.
Okay. I mean, knowing that there's still a Berggren on the outside looking in, that there's still a Fabry who's going to be coming back from injury. Now, I know you're not a fan, Matt. That's okay.
God.
That's what I'm here for.
I forgot about him again. Jesus.
That's what I'm here for. So to think that guy who was literally he was a focal point of this team for like 2 years. Now, I mean, you could reasonably put him on the third or fourth line and not even blink.
Look, can I just say,
even if Matt doesn't like him, even though Matt is a Bertuzzi hater and a Fabry hater, let's not forget that. You know who else likes Fabry? Yzerman. Yeah, because he gave him a nice lengthy contract. Mwah. So, I mean, you got guys like that coming back. We are still, I don't know if you guys are still hitting refresh on those tweets because there's still that rumor Red Wing trade being out there because of all this extra depth. Like, you ideally want to turn some of that depth into, like, one really good player. Yeah, it's very promising. I don't know how pie in the sky that second line is. I'm kind of stunned that projected WAR is that close to a line that was ranked as one of the top 5 in the whole league.
Well, if I could, I just want to add an asterisk. That's them measuring differently because it's the second line. Can I throw that in?
So
there?
It's second line projection.
Yeah, it's weighted because it's the second line.
Oh, all right. So I shudder to think what would happen if that was the first line. Is what you're saying.
I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. You're still talking about Varady being up there, who's been like analytic wise, he's had comparable numbers to like Austin Matthews when it comes to like goals. So it makes sense that they still have that good of a score, but yeah, that is weighted because it's the second line that we're measuring there. So it would be a different score with those guys on the first line. But
can I ask you really two tea leaf sexy questions about this? Seeing that the projected standings are at 99 points.
Yes.
I would say that two spots we could probably still use an upgrade are at center and maybe defense. So is there any room in here, Matt, where you would flirt with the idea of Kadri or Klingberg?
Oh man.
Because Copp, that's a pretty cool second line center. But my God, if that was our third line center, woo! Little Kadri action with Jakob.
God, I'm not ready to play those games yet of like, all right, like Copp we brought in to be our second line center, and we're already like, we could upgrade that. I want to see.
We still got cap space. We could still potentially make this happen.
First of all,
we could fiscally make it happen.
Somebody asked about Klingberg, but I saw Jim Johnson threw this into the comments, and I just laughed. So Ernie Smith should be waived. I thought that was pretty good. Johnny P, of course, performance art. If we get Klingberg, oh man.
Do you have? Can you queue up the Klingberg J-Fresh?
Yeah, I will. I was gonna make it all dramatic here. Tristan Klingberg, 3 years, $7 million. Again, Johnny P. Here's Johnny. Jim Johnson, 4 years, $6.25 million.
Jim, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Can we get you in the negotiating room? I like that a lot.
Would you rather go one less year and pay a little bit more? Like in the grand scheme of things, the difference between 6.25 and 7 mil, or 4 years, 6.25. I would lean into Tristan's deal.
So like a lot of pretty good pizza or a medium amount of really good pizza? Medium amount of really good pizza.
I don't know how to interpret which one's which based on what you're saying.
I just wanted to do an Office reference. All right, just give me that.
Right. Anyway, here's Mike. Are you ready? Should we like drum roll for any?
Now, hold on now. Here's Matt's going to do a little gotcha media trick here on us because he's going to drop Klingberg's less than impressive J-Fresh score. But lest we forget, I think Matt also should be pulling up Chiarot's J-Fresh to go back-to-back with that in all fairness.
But one's going to be playing left side and one will be playing right side.
Oh, they can be a pair together. Oh, wouldn't that make Matt happy?
All right, so let's do it. Officially, 1 extra point. If we bring in John Klingberg, move Philip Hronek to the third pairing, everything else on this list, I believe, is exactly the same.
Every point counts. Do you guys want to cripple your cap sheet for one more point?
That is a great way to put it. That's where I come back to Tristan's 3 years. And if you're going to bring him in as few years as possible, because he's already 30. And I mean, you've already seen the dip once, as you could see here on the J Fresh player card in 2020, 2021. It wasn't just play. There's a lot of things that come into this, but then he does slide up a little bit here on the WAR percentile going from 2021 to 2022, but it's not anything that I'm ready where Klingberg wants, I guess, from us.
Listen,
I think this is accurate. He can only get 7 years from us, right? Because the 8 years would be with his original team.
This would be an absolutely stunning move by Yzerman because
if it was
it would be as if he were signing a short player, because all Yzerman has done this offseason is prioritize defense first guys or all around player guys. And this guy, as a defenseman, only plays one side of the ice. He's a great quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He's a great quarterback for power plays, getting the play going. But man, his defense is not. It's not something Yzerman has been prioritizing. At least this year.
To call him a quarterback, don't ignore the primary assist here per 60, the top 89% of the league. Same thing with his offense. I mean, this is his goals per 60 as a right side defenseman. Everything.
And his name is almost Klink. Another perk.
Right. I was going to say, so this is the personal side of it. When I create a player in the NHL game, I can't pick Klink for the announcer, but I would always lean into Klingberg because that was as close as I could get. But yeah, I mean, the easy game here, right? Go to Hronek.
Hey, if you like Hronek, how about double his contract for the exact same player but older? Huh?
And it's not the exact right? I mean, you're looking at a huge dip here in power play. It's just the defense is like a little bit better. So it's like you're getting a guy who would probably be labeled as more the two-way game, but that's just because he's not great at offense, it looks like.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
Klingberg
say,
can't touch Hronek's ability to light up an empty net.
That's true. You'd think that goals per 60 would be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The expected goals for Hronek with an empty net is 100, just so you know.
He's responsible. You can see the penalty number there.
Beautiful.
Okay. Joking aside, I think even with the projected WAR percentage both being 49%, I think what you're paying for with another couple million here compared to the 4.4 million is for a guy that when you put him on the ice, you know what you're getting. And with Hronek, you don't know if he's going to blow it on the offensive side or blow it on the defensive side. And that's
he's a man of mystery. So let me ask you this: we talked about what the war is.
Great. Can I just throw this out there? Like, we've been talking about how cool is it for the first time since the show has existed, we'll have 2 power plays. We know Seider's sticking with PP1. PP2, Mike, has a legit I'm going to keep saying PP. Power play 1 quarterback on it. And that what Tristan's saying there is huge. So if you can limit that contract length, my official stance on the Klingberg move, what have you, is go for it.
Can I say that as weird, I think would be, what's the word? The antithesis to sign him. If only because of what we've prioritized so far. And Dan B saying the devil you know better than the devil you don't.
I think Dan's saying he wants PK Subban. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Matt, you dirty dog.
I know what you meant, Dan. I'm just kidding.
With the contract length seemingly holding up like a signing announcement, it feels to me, I guess he really is going to be a Red Wing, and that Yzerman is not budging on the years.
Yeah. I think that's a great point.
Steve,
I think as somebody who's deep into the current housing market right now, there's the contracts that move. There's a reason why. Like, everybody's overpaying and whatnot, and of course they're all 30-year mortgages, so it's 30 years, but across the board. But yeah, I mean, the ones that aren't moving are. I mean,
we can dirty it up a little bit, but I mean, you're still gonna have to figure out, the Larkin extension, and then Bertuzzi or whatever you may do with Bertuzzi, who is a core piece of this team and not going anywhere. Wink. That's a lot of money that you gotta, have saved up for this season and coming season. So yeah, we could fit Klingberg in there, but I'm pretty proud of Steve for holding down his plan to not sign mortgages with all of these players. And Matt, I know you hate the NBA, but he's actually treating this a bit like an NBA GM, where they're literally handcuffed at this point. You can only sign these guys for up to 5 years. But for him to declare outwardly, no, you're not going to be part of my team. Maybe Larkin will get a little bit lengthier deal, but I'm not going to bend on this. This is not part of our cap sheet philosophy. So even a player like Klingberg, who could, give us an otherworldly second power play unit, or, first PP if Mo Seider had to take a game off or something, it's not worth it to me to cripple us for 8 years, especially for a guy who at the end of the term, for the most we could give him, would be 37 years old, Matt. 37-year-old. He's making $7 million. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, and there's no element here of marketability either. And everybody hates when I bring up the business side of bringing these players aboard. You're not looking at a Klingberg and going, oh man, the fans are going to blow a load when they see this, because they won't if it's attached with 7 years. And it's just one of those things. I think you can afford to lose now on the salary bid with Klingberg. You could tell him, look, I'm not giving you these years, but we'll give you a little extra dough that you probably don't deserve based on your defensive inabilities, basically making you a wash of a player, which is probably a little too harsh, what I just threw out there, but the advanced analytics test out. Like it says, he's going to give up just as much as he will put in. But again, back to Dan B's point, the devil you know better than the devil you don't. You put Klingberg out there to be successful on offense, and you don't necessarily put him out there when we need to prevent goals from hitting the back of the net.
That was the last point I forgot I wanted to hit, was as long as he's not, counted on to be, defensively like a top pairing guy. And my God, if we could find a way to make him like a 5 or 6 defenseman and more of a special teams, we'll feature you a lot more on the power play, but maybe lower your minutes in like defensive situations. Man, would that be ideal? And you not, keep him to a 3 or a 4-year contract. That's a pretty appealing cap sheet, in my opinion. Did you have any room in your stomach for what a Kadri signing would look like?
I don't have the J Fresh up.
Because that's got to be one of the trickier ones, considering where he came from. Being on the coattails of a mega team. Because you got to think his numbers are going to go realistically down a little bit, coming to Detroit. But I mean, he'd still be flanked by Vrana and Perron, which, it's a pretty nice pairing there. I can't imagine would bum him out too much, especially fresh on some free agent dollars. But I haven't heard anything about that. I've only heard about Klingberg coming here. I haven't heard even a sniff of Kadri, but that would just be so cool to have Copp somehow be our third center.
I'm trying to find something on here that's gonna give us an idea of what Kadri's gonna make this upcoming season. Somebody's guess, but everything's just one of those silly. You ask the question on Google, so somebody has it built out to like respond to that question, but not actually give us an answer.
What do you think his value is, just off the top of your head? Just not like what you think he's going to get. What's his value, like 5?
Oh God, I think if Kadri was a 5, I don't think we'd be looking at a Copp on the team right now. But I think he's going to grade out higher, shorter term contract. I think that's. I was thinking around. I guess I was thinking around 7, but that's just what came to my head first. I'm still trying to find something, but I feel like he's going to get a payday because of how. I mean, last year was a career year for him, so that might be where his holdout is. But I can't find anything online. I can't even pull up the contract projections. Performance art says 6.
Yeah, my 5 was a little low. I think I was trying to tee it up where
Jody has the in here.
Wings are not in. Yeah. I was thinking like 5, and then with free agency, you usually have to do like 20% over what they're actually worth to, seduce them to, uproot their lives and come, play with you for 3 or 4 years. Dan B saying someone will be stupid and give him 7.5. Yeah. Maybe that's why we haven't heard a sniff yet, because I don't think Yzerman really sees the value in that.
Yeah, I don't think, again, like we have our centers. I mean, Puce was a target last year. I think we have some options in our own system that we still want to try out. I don't know if targeting Kadri. I like right now. I feel like if we were at the trade deadline and I had to guess where we needed to upgrade, I'm going to think that there's going to be something, probably right wing or anywhere on the defense is going to need an upgrade, left side or right side. And we'd be happy with whatever the upgrade ended up being on left or right side. We'd be able to upgrade if we found the right player, kind of thing. So I'm thinking winger and defense before I'm upgrading center.
Yeah. I mean, because we got to wait at least another year for the unicorn, Elmer Solterblom, to come up and elevate this team to the Stanley Cup Finals. So,
yeah, I just I kind of have some thoughts here. So you asked Mike earlier in the week to think of some guys that could be potential ads. So I was trying to think of some teams that might not make the playoffs, just like out of like, they've been struggling either recently, or you could kind of see maybe there's a world where they just kind of dip off because their team's just getting older. Dip off sounds like an insult. They fall off the edge of the world kind of thing. Maybe they have one player that they depend on for all their scoring, and he just gets too old and can't keep up his pace. The Capitals. Anyway. So I'm not saying that's for sure, but I was just trying to find guys that could be available because they have 1 year left on their contract. And like at some point during the season, maybe there's a possibility to bring over this 1 year contract to upgrade the team somewhere. And should we play that game?
We could try. I thought we were.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I thought we were going. No, go ahead.
No,
if you got somebody. No, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Did you still want to play the Kadri game?
No, I don't. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Oh, all right. So the first guy on the list, JT Miller. I think at the point where JT Miller is an option, I think he's been serviceable. You could see like the advanced analytics test him out as an 81% plus. This is a rental. This isn't even a guy you need to worry about next season. 84% offense. You've got a guy that sets up well with an 82% primary assist per 60. And again, this is another addition to the power play where if there's anyone struggling or any injuries, there's a solution. So first name I'm putting in there, again, JT Miller. Second name, I am coming after the Capitals. I got Dmitry Orlov in there. With this one, you're up, like this is to me, the clear upgrade on the second pair. I could possibly be fighting Seider. I know that's blasphemy, but this guy could do so well on both sides of the puck that this is a legit upgrade. This is where you're like, all right, Capitals are going to want something pretty for this. But this, like I said, if there's an opportunity here, we're looking for a guy with 1 year left on his contract. I think you're going midway through the season here, and you're playing this game of if the Caps are out of it, can you steal Dmitry? Now, Ketzel throws out there, he has a modified no move clause. I honestly, those are an issue until they're not. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody's available until the trade deadline's over and we realize they haven't been moved. I think there's always a conversation. Like, does Orlov want to move to potentially, if we're in a playoff position and Washington is not, maybe Ovechkin's legs go out on him and they have nothing at that point. There you go. So, bingo, bango. Mike, you got a 104-point team right there. So, for the life of me, I could have put JT on the second line, but I think you could see Mike Zadina, he gone. He was a part of that trade. I think we're getting rid of a pick too. And then Dmitry Orlov. I don't know how much we're giving away, but I do like the look of this team. I gotta say, like at this point, you've got a couple of solid 5-on-5 defensive pairings here, like ready to go. I'd be excited about rolling this, to be completely honest here. And projecting out or scoring out as a 104-point team feels pretty gosh darn good.
Not really against those. I do like that you're.
It's like pie in the sky. I
know. No, but what we were trying to do is in this exercise was just try to find some spots where we could pillage from teams that don't know how to manage a cap sheet. And Vancouver's right up against it. Like as far as like roster spots go, and I believe they're still like $2 million over the cap, so they still have a little bit of Michael Scott fancy financial footwork that they got to figure out.
Yeah.
So I don't think the JT Miller one is too bananas at all. But mine was a little crazy. Try not to laugh, but I still think that this team has no idea what they're doing. And if anything, they're probably going to give away a very valuable player because they don't know what they're doing. Man, I could see a scenario where, again, Vegas has to keep dumping salary. So I don't know if that means that, my God, is their captain going to be available? Is Mark Stone going to be available for a Red Wing cap sheet that's still kind of sexy? Matt, maybe?
I don't think so. I think that they've picked him to be the guy that's sticking around.
I think they've picked Eichel, and if this guy's just like, you know what, fuck this, get me the hell out of this godforsaken Sin City, and take me to a real organization with a real GM. If you're going to be getting extra draft picks, which the Red Wings being on the cusp of, contending, having some fringe guys like, hey, we got a little Zadina action for you, huh? Former first round pick, huh? Former top 10 pick, huh? How's that wet your noodle? Sold. All right, we didn't throw in any first round picks. Oh, so you're doing a straight up, just bananas trade. This for me, I would be a shark. I would be all over this team because they have no idea what they're doing. And I could see a scenario where they're giving up somebody like that.
Okay, you do.
If you want to unpack that one, go ahead.
I guess unpacking it means I'm playing the game of how is this possible? Like, how would this actually happen?
It's just possible because of ineptitude.
This is another one. I mean, I was trying to target guys that had 1 year left, so now we're just all right, let's go after Connor McDavid. If we're gonna go after Mark Stone, but
okay, no, I did not put Connor McDavid on my list, but depending on when we acquired Mark, Matt, he would only have 4 years left on his deal, which again falls under the Yzerman criteria to be part of this Red Wing team.
I mean, is it though? Isn't it 5 years left right now on Mark?
This year is number 5.
Okay.
So then if you're backing it up where they screw up this whole season and say we got to dump it again, I'm telling you, just be a shark on it.
This one's pretty wild to me. I feel like there are two guys they want to stick with. And you're right. And I was going to say how this works out. Oh, there's a burp. The way that this actually becomes a thing is when Vegas is halfway through the season and they're last place in the league or something like that. And even then, I don't think they'd look to get rid of Mark. I think they'd look and cross their fingers that there's a nice draft pick coming through to improve the team. He's got 5 years. They can try and wait. I mean, look at these numbers. They're insane. This is not the guy you want to move. This is the guy you're building around. And even at 30, he's still producing incredibly well.
They have doubled down on Eichel. They have destroyed any kind of depth they have, Matt. If they want to try and reload, get some draft picks, Uncle Stevie's going to have a few extra. He's going to have some fringe prospects. You know what? Reset that team, baby.
All right, we're going to do this. I don't think I've done this in a long time, but just going through Jay Fresh's stuff and based on the comments, pulling somebody up. But Jim threw out there twice. Horvat. No.
All right, you guys,
Jim, we're looking at
you guys you're thinking reasonable. You got to be sharks. But yeah, this probably makes a little bit more sense. Go ahead and throw Horvat in there.
Well, we're back to Vancouver, like you already mentioned, struggling cap-wise, and then they'll probably suck. But as Jim puts out there, more than just a guy with some skill, but a great leader, great face-off man. He can finish. Look at that. Doing pretty well. I mean, across the board, it's average, but average enough that he's gonna score out, top 78% of the league. As a center, just for me, I guess I already touched on it. Are we moving Copp down to the third line and Bo's second line is my struggle? Or are we just going to move one of our centers to the wing, which is totally fine too. That's where I haven't really done a ton of research to keep pulling up centers. And then Tristan comes in with, but McKinnon though. All right, McKinnon is, yes, that's where Dylan Larkin. Unfortunately, you're not a center anymore, my man. You're a winger. I mean, let's see if I can.
Matt, I got one more for you. Are you ready?
Yeah. Well, let's do Tristan a favor here. Mike, is this worth it? Should we? I think the better question is who moves to wing, Nathan McKinnon or Dylan Larkin?
No. Listen, I'm only preying on the Knights. I'm not putting McDavid in there. I'm not gonna go that crazy, but I do have a wild one for you, Matt.
To answer Tristan's question, I think you can hand him a checkbook. Would be my answer, and he deserves it too. He's been playing his ass off for $6 million. I
think you could rename Little Caesars.
Yeah,
McKinnon Arena. I don't think anyone would complain. Matt, this is a upcoming UFA.
All right, let's do it.
Part of another ship that's sinking into the ocean.
Do we need
Matt?
to get you a new link that isn't the Golden Knights page?
You're going to need to get me a bib because I'm going to be drooling all over the place if this one comes to fruition. Matt, you're going to start typing the letter K, a little A.
Oh, my God.
N.
And
Keep going.
Oh, my God. You're such a piece of garbage.
Matt, his deal is up. Chicago is blowing it up. They're just getting rid of everybody left and right.
Yeah, look at that. $10 million. Let's bring this guy over.
Wait a minute.
He's doing great.
Killing it. I don't know. That's another team I would be paying, a lot of attention to. Because I don't know how Taves and Kane are going to be looking at each other like, who is on our team? It's going to be a veritable who's that of the NHL. So I don't know if this is a spot where you can, get a little revenge for what happened with Hossa. Come on.
Can we not though?
A little Hossa revenge. Just a little Hossa revenge.
I mean, he's such a piece of garbage. I don't want this name attached to the Red Wings.
All right.
Do you really want to
Kane?
pull?
Okay, so Kane, the hockey player,
Browns.
and Kane of
right
the
now.
WWE. Both of their names have been soiled. All right.
I can't wait for this to happen, and then Dylan Larkin's like, trade me to the Carolina Panthers, which is he'd be Baker Mayfield at that point. Yeah. No, I don't want this. I don't care. And he's garbage. Come on, look at these numbers.
Man, he's basically Shabbat on offense. I don't know what you're griping about.
You pay this number. You pay that $10 million because, like, the excuse would be, oh, look at the garbage that he has to play with. Yeah, but you pay a guy $10 million so that this doesn't happen.
I think you're looking at all the negatives. Man.
There's only negatives. Okay, there's a couple.
Man, he's going to be a year older, a year wiser. He's going to be on our second or third line. He's not even a first liner.
Larkin jumps leagues. Is Jared's prediction?
He's going to the KHL. He's had enough. He's following in the footsteps of Datsuk.
Dan says Wings aren't in a position for a Kane-type ad just yet.
Oh,
maybe in 3 years.
You watch Edvinsson and Soderblom come up. Woo! Start getting those sirens going, baby.
Let's get this.
So Matt's out on Kane and Taves, even though they're actual unrestricted free agents coming up. Look at that, 46, huh? Fit right in with Hronek. I like it.
So what do you again? We're gonna have a $10 million third line center? Is that what you're?
Oh, he's taking a pay cut.
Look at this.
Paying him $10.5 million.
You see that age?
Yeah, he's getting wiser, Matt.
Oh my God,
getting smarter. Mind powers.
Oh God.
Listen, you didn't like my shark idea. Matt said Larkin requests trade to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Baker Mayfield, right? Didn't he go to the Carolina Panthers? Am I wrong? Yeah.
No,
I wasn't screwed up like Carolina and Florida Panthers. I meant that I was talking about the situation where you bring in a piece of garbage into your football franchise, and then your Baker Mayfield, who turned your whole franchise around, requests a trade. Sorry,
can I just ask?
You know what? I'm very self-conscious. That's what the Carolina Panthers thing was. It was not a Florida Panthers miscue.
Man,
it was.
Listen.
All right.
If you can get. Okay, so he's a little bit of a garbage person, but if you could get Kane for $4 million,
how are we getting him for $4 million?
He's going to be a UFA. He's going to be 33. We got Yzerman in the negotiating room.
Oh, wait. Did I miss that? Does he have 1 year? He has 1 year left?
Yeah, it's UFA. This is his last season.
Oh, wow.
He and Taves have their contracts are out. Yeah.
That's so cute that they've asked to not be on the trade block. And then I mean, Chicago could get something. I do like the theory that Chicago has made themselves such garbage because Kane and Taves said that they would not accept a trade. So Chicago went, fine. Then you're going to have the worst year of your career.
Listen, these guys have to be on the block. I mean, they spent free agent money on Max Domi and Red Wing legend Andreas Athanasiou. So I'm just saying they have to be available in some capacity. Like Chicago's management would be bananas to not listen to offers to get some sort of draft compensation for they're really going to re-sign? No way. Oh, the pot. Okay, that's enough. I'm kidding, the pasta man. So did I. You know what? That's the last time I bring up my shark theory with Stone. Pasta man.
Can I just
get
say,
the pasta man off my screen?
Whatever you want to give up to bring in Kane, I would give up 4 times that to bring in the pasta man. I think that's your game changing move. I don't
Yeah,
even know
I mean, yeah, he's the pasta man. Of course, you give up anything.
There you go. 108 point projected team. Got plenty of room to fit in Simon Edvinsson.
That seems a little low, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Seem a little low.
You know, what's record breaking, right? Like 120 or something.
And also keep in mind that you have also included a few of our other fake acquisitions on this sheet.
Did I?
Yeah. Orlov is still on there.
Well, yeah, that was a no-brainer. That's already...
It's already in the works, huh? Okay.
Yeah, that's already done. You forgot. That one's good. Don't forget, you still got to upgrade Gustav Lindstrom to Klingberg. So you're going to have Klingberg, Orlov, and Seider on the rest.
Oh my God.
When everybody signs off.
You know what? Who mentioned the pasta man? So I think he is a UFA, isn't he?
You're the only guy who could talk on this podcast besides you is the person who.
I thought it was one of our comments that came in. Damn, this is an incredible free agent class.
Nothing like full-time comedians. Thanks, Jim. Now look, Boston's having trouble with Pastrnak. The last I heard rumor-wise is that he does want out. And Boston is probably going to struggle this year. So let's get this conversation going. Come on.
It's not just that the Pasta Man has a great nickname and he's really good at hockey. His AAV right now is the number of the beast. $6,666,666. Please bring him to Detroit.
This is another one where it's as Tristan mentioned earlier, I'm going to scroll up. You know, that 13 mil he's throwing at McKinnon.
Oof.
Just to hand pasta the checkbook. So yeah, we're having fun here. Tried to be realistic. It didn't go great. We started bringing up Mark Stone and Patrick Kane.
Listen to this UFA list. Can I just sprint through a few of these? Just names. I know you don't care about the top 2 because they just happen to have the highest contracts this season. So that's what the order's in. Kane, Jonathan Taves, Ryan O'Reilly, Tarasenko.
Ryan O'Reilly was another good one. I feel like would be fun.
The Pasta Man, Sean Monahan from Calgary, McKinnon, of course. We're going to ignore Larkin because obviously he's going to re-sign and play here forever because he's our best player of all time. I don't know. Do you want to put Lucic on there?
No.
Matt, your boy Dumba from Minnesota, huh?
Yeah,
your buddy.
You can put Matt on there.
We got a little Huberdeau action, huh? A little Huberdeau. Want to hear me butcher that pronunciation 3 more times? We got Horvat, Johnny Quick. He's only 37, Matt. Perfect time to bring him in.
Yeah, this is the wrong list to go through.
I'm getting a little deeper here. I'm getting a little deeper. Jonathan Drouin, like you said, JT Miller. Holy mackerel.
We can.
Am I losing you a little bit?
Yeah, I don't like this list. I mean,
all right, there's a few sexy ones up top. We're starting to peter off, but
yeah, I'd say quite a bit.
Any other ones that wet the old noodle? No.
Holland's gonna bring in Jonathan Quick from Jim Johnson. That's my statement of the episode, or my favorite comment of the episode.
Looking forward to that.
Dan B does throw out there, why are we breaking in more names? We should make room for Soderblom. Adam's right there too. Soderblom.
I mean, yeah, we know he's going to be the savior. Elmer Soderblom he's everything to me right now. You know.
All right, so I'm all out of slides now. Now that I did my fun little what would happen if we added Pasta and Orlov.
And listen, we don't need names. I'm very excited for the human unicorn.
Are there any other names that were brought up? Well,
in the comments. No, yeah. I mean we're just dropping a few guys who are going to be UFAs because this. You know, I guess we did have Johnny Hockey. But yeah, a lot of sexy names next year just to just for S's and giggles.
And I did forget. I wanted to do, we'll take a quick break here so that I don't have to edit later. But this is, of course, brought to you by DraftKings. The action never ends at DraftKings Sportsbook, especially this summer with tons of ways to bet on all your favorite sports. You can fuel your fandom and feel the heat of the season like never before. Plus, right now, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a risk-free bet to $1,000. That's right. Make your first bet up to $1,000. If it doesn't win, you'll get another shot to cash in. You can throw down all major action for baseball, golf, MMA, and more. Plus, same game parlays, spreads, money lines, over-unders, props, betting options. There's fun baseball. Best of all, DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit, withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Make your first deposit. Get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. That's promo code THPN. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right. What was that? It was like at the hour mark. something around there. All right. They're going to love hearing that. It's DraftKings. Look, guys, we got to do it. We got in trouble. I apologize to our sponsors who we almost never call out live. But we're supposed to be getting more sponsors and they need proof that we're actually going to follow through. So yeah, Sticklers. I apologize that I put you guys through that, but there's a good reason for it. I forget. I almost mentioned who our new sponsor is going to be. Like, I'm just bullshitting with you guys at the bar. Yeah, it's going to be blah blah, and it's like, oh wait, that's not no sponsorship.
It hasn't happened yet. No.
I mean, they signed a contract, but we can't. I guess, yeah, we're not supposed to. I don't know.
It would still be tampering. We can't have any tampering going on. We can't say if it's Kool-Aid or not.
Yeah, we can't say if it's Kool-Aid. Actually, yeah, we could say it's not Kool-Aid. All right. Dan B, not sure if there's enough room on the Redbird plane for all the guys on the roster currently.
See, the bummer is that there kind of is.
Oh, there is room for more people?
Yeah.
Is that because Soderblom's not in there? Because he's going to take up about 6 rows.
You old dog, you. You got me on that one. I can't wait for that guy to debut. I hope you guys are going to join me because I'm definitely going to go to Traverse City just to see him crush people in
should we do
Grand Rapids or Traverse. God, what do I want to do? I kind of want to do both.
Is this where we announce we're going to do a Red Wings Rant meetup in Traverse City? That would be so neat. Oof. When is that? Oh, wait, we don't know. They haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But at the very least, we got to at least do a game in Grand Rapids. But I want to do Traverse City, too. Well, that doesn't make sense because he's not even going to be a Griffin. He's going to wow everybody in Traverse City and be on the second line.
I mean, anywhere he goes, he's going to wow us. I think it was Edvinsson that just described him as a mountain, as Edvinsson was towering over everyone, and the latest measurements revealed that Edvinsson had grown.
He's bigger?
Yes!
We have another unicorn?
Yeah, he's getting even bigger. I thought that was crazy, but then that was kind of the story, was that Edvinsson grew, or at least he's measuring out as another inch higher right now. And then
it was vertically, right? Not horizontally.
Where at? Yeah. I think I read that from Daniela Bruce, but I like this Adam Thomas with the unicorn. Brad thrown out there 6'7", I think. What is that? Our new measurement for Edvinsson? But yeah, Adam has it nailed. 6'8".
Soderblom is 6'8". Yeah. We looked at that.
Oh, Jared Edvinsson, he's got it. This is breaking news. 9 feet 6 inches, 580 pounds. Thanks, Jared.
Can you announce that as Howard Finkel? Standing at 9'6", weighing 580 pounds, over Soderblom. Rest in peace, Howard. We miss you.
I'm running out of steam. It's been an hour.
That's okay.
We went hard into having fun here with these some of these guys, but I think there's a full year to go over. I'm trying to look up Edvinsson's height, and then I pulled up Soderblom. But we've got a full year to go over all these guys that have 1 year left on their contract. All right, so Cap Friendly still hasn't listed at 6'4".
I have him at 6'6".
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
It says 6'6", and then in parentheses, still growing.
Where's that?
I wrote it into Wikipedia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That works for me. All right. Anybody else have any questions? All right. So Brendan Edvinsson is 6'6". Jim's being super sweet. Don't quit your day jobs, boys. Also throws in there 6'6". And Adam's pulling out elite prospects for his 6'6", I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm turning into a sleepy boy. We had some fun, like I said, with the roster. We've got all season to keep doing more.
Those are all very, very serious.
Yeah.
Swindling Mark Stone from Vegas. Very, very serious.
You know what? I'm still gonna say. Who did I call out earlier? JT, Dmitry Orlov. Let's go. Let's do it. Sign me up.
Patrick Kane, baby.
Get the
a little Hossa revenge. Woo!
No, it's not Hossa revenge.
Woo!
It's not even close.
It is for me.
We're taking their garbage.
It's still real to me.
I don't want their garbage. Keep their garbage away. All right, Jim. Even though you were mean to me, hope you have a nice night. Jared, have a good one. All right, Jared.
Jim Johnson, I appreciate you all the WWE songs you used to write, so I appreciate that.
Adam, everybody, Chewy, have a good one. Chewy was really sweet here a minute ago. When I was apologizing about the ads, Chewy said, "It's all right. We want the channel to grow." Chewy, you're the best. All right. So yeah, I feel like I'm really having an on here and everybody's just hanging around and we haven't made a point about anything on the Red Wings. So you guys can go. Check us out, Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review. Jim came back. He says we're great. I love you, Jim.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
Even though you were mean to me, I love you. If you guys can hit that like button, it means a heck of a lot to us. If you guys are new, hit the subscribe button. We'll have some fun next week. And yeah, well, you know what? Just hit us up in the comments right now. If you're still sticking around, if you're somebody who's watching this after the live, we'll put it that way. Hit us up in the comments with some other names that we could look at this war roster builder and make a judgment call. But I think officially, let's walk away. I'm saying yes on the Klingberg thing, and I'll pay more now. I just don't want a lengthy...
Right. No mortgages.
Timeline. Yeah, there we go.
No mortgages. But yeah, I can't wait for next week when we check in again on Simon Edvinsson's height.
Jared, buy some decorations, Matt. Jared, they're all put away. I have to wait till I get my new house. They're going to be put away until that new house.
You guys need to share the show so that Matt can make a little money off YouTube and we can afford some decorations.
MK2, he's in Traverse City. I got you guys covered for whatever you need up here. MK, you're my new best friend.
I like your initials a lot.
That's
Seeing
true.
as though it's both of our initials.
Yes.
An honorary MK. I like it.
And yes, I will be attending the home opener against Montreal. That's Jim's question. So last year we went to the home opener and we tweeted out that we were there. Literally nobody tweeted back to us. I was so sad.
Matt doesn't know that he just DM'd that to me. He didn't tweet it.
Oh,
so
that might be why.
We'll fix that this year. Yeah.
So we've got Traverse City plans, Grand Rapids plans, and home opener plans that we hope we could see you guys all there. All right, everybody, have a nice rest of your week, and we'll maybe some Klingberg stuff will happen.
Stay cool. Because it's gonna be hot. Stay cool.
All right. Subscriber numbers going down.
They're actually skyrocketing into the stratosphere, just like Elmer Soderblom. All right.
Toodaloo, everybody.